YouTube! Today in the Naughty Librarian, let's go over my April TBR list. I have some pretty amazing books I want to read in April, and I feel like doing the TBR list will keep me on track because I did it in February and I pretty much read all those books, so I feel like this is something I should keep doing because it makes me like accountable. Alright, let's just get into the books I'm going to be reading in April. First up, I have City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. And this is book 4 of the Mortal Instruments series. I think Clary is the dumbest human ever in the world. But there's this thing about this series that I understand the hype because, like, even if Clary is the dumbest person I have ever seen, I need to know what's gonna happen next. Like, the story and the world building are very good. The problem is Clary's a dummy. So far in this, she is starting to actually train to be a shadow hunter, which already is an improvement than like randomly saying, I'm gonna go be a shadow hunter, la la la, with no training, and then everyone thinks you're a dummy and you ruin everything. So hey, progress. Maybe I will like her more this time. Next up, I really want to read The Bells by Danielle Clayton. This is another book. I actually met Danielle Clayton and she signed it, so I am just still a monster because I meet authors and not read their books. So hey, that's my goal kind of for 2018. I want to not be the monster who gets books from authors and never reads them. So hey, I'm gonna read The Bells this month. I'm making progress in my own life just like Clary is in hers. Keeping that whole train of reading books I get from authors going, I have Making a Play by Victoria Denault, and I also met Victoria. She signed it. And I got this book literally a year ago and I have not read it. So I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna read it. It's also pretty short. It's 260 pages. Like, I can knock this book out. Like, I'm just being a wuss for not reading it. So I am definitely gonna read this book this month. It is a hockey smutty romance. So, I mean, the cover looks very appealing to me. So I am thinking I'm gonna enjoy this quite a bit. Let's see. I really want to read The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis, mainly because I keep like rechecking this out from the library and not getting around to it, and they won't let me check it out anymore. It's about this girl whose sister was murdered and then the killer got away with it, so she went and murdered him. She doesn't feel bad about it either. I think she's like a little bit of a sociopath. She's like teenage girl Dexter, essentially, I think. She's killing bad guys, not like hunting soccer moms. Like, she's not an evil person necessarily, but like it seems very dark and like so dark that it's juicy. Like, I'm very excited about it. I have to read it because the library won't let me keep it anymore, so you know, it forced my hand, but I want to read it anyway, so let's go. Next up, I have I Believe in a Thing Called Love by Maureen Gu. And I want to read this so much. Oh my goodness. Last year I went to an event that Maureen Gu was at, but I ran out of money, so I could not buy the book and get it signed. And I've been kicking myself about it for months. And then I went to a different event. She wasn't at it, but they were selling autographed copies, so I bought it. I'm very excited about it. This is about a girl who is trying to figure out romance by basing her romantic life off of K-dramas. And that sounds so funny and awesome, and I'm so excited to read this. This has been on my, like, ever since I didn't buy the book at that event, I've been kicking myself about it, literally. Like, I've been like, why haven't I read this book? It sounds so good. What's wrong with me? Now I finally have it, so I'm definitely gonna read it. Heck yeah. To keep that train of signed books I haven't read going, I have A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, who I met, and she signed this book, and I met her like a year ago, and I haven't read it yet. But I know a new book is coming out soon, and the Grove is doing an event, so I'm like, ooh, I should read this to make sure I like it. Because if I like it, I'll go to the event. If I don't, then I don't have to go to the event. It does sound awesome. I mean, it got witches. I like witches a lot. I don't read a lot of books about them, but I wish I did, so definitely want to check this one out. I believe this is more of an adult kind of romancy thing. I don't really think it's smutty though, but I could be surprised. So again, I'm still sticking on that theme of signed books that I have not read. I have Truth Witch by Susan Dennard, and again, I met her She signed this, haven't read it because I'm a monster garbage person. So I want to read this. Again, another witch book. And I'm so excited about this because I heard her talk about her book. And she's kind of like a Tolkien kind of person who would like invent a language and like know the rules of it before writing the book. So like, I'm in. That sounds so like nerdy and wonderful. Next up, I have Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And yeah, I haven't read it because I am a monster and I don't know why I'm like this. I buy good books and then I don't read them. Sarah J. Maas is one of those authors like I know I'm gonna love because everyone loves her, but then like I haven't read any of her books. So I'm super excited to read this one. I just got the audiobook, so I'm kind of really excited to listen to it as an audiobook too. So yeah, I'm gonna knock this one out so I can say finally I've read something by Sarah J. Maas. Like, the streak is over. I have officially started her books. Oh, I really need to read The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken because obviously I need to read this. Like, it's been out for so long. It's gonna be a movie soon. The trailer to the movie sounds really good. So I want to read the book because, like, let's be real, the books are usually better than the movie. I'd rather read the book. So I'm going to do it. I finally put my foot down. It's getting read this month. Last on my list, I have Everlife by Gina Showalter. This is the end of her First Life series, and essentially the series is basically, we follow a girl named Tenley Lockwood, 10 for short. Your first life is this life right here, and then after you die, you go to your Everlife. And that is basically, you choose one of two realms to join, and those two realms are at war with each other. And this book is basically the end of the whole story where she's trying to stop the war. And I assume she will because why wouldn't she? It's the end of the series. But I've stuck it out with this series and I really like 10 as a protagonist. I like her a lot. I want to see how this like shakes out in the end. So yeah, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna get into it. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna go get to reading because I got a lot to read this month. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books, which one's your favorites and least favorites. I want to know what you think so I can like choose which ones I want to read first. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon.